After hardly thinking, I've decided to kidnap myself. I figure I can get away with it if I incorporate myself as a business. That way there are two legal entities. Then I have myself, inked, kidnap myself. The business I'm running as myself will be focusing in on botched kidnappings. Those events are specifically aimed at a target audience who's looking for kidnappings, but not regular kidnappings, botched kidnappings. Normal kidnapping, straightforward. Find a client, get the necessary intel on their desired kidnappee, surveillance, and boom, napped up, son. Where's Waldo? Nowhere to be seen, that's right. Now, botch naps are the exact opposite. Everything that can and can't go wrong will go wrong. We even have times where things are meant to go wrong, but they go even more wrong, extra wrong. Allow me to demonstrate. Classic napping sesh about to go down. We've located the nappy, scouted a spot. We jumped the goods. That's industry lingo for target. We bashed them over the head with a billy club, and that's the part we mean to go wrong. We've got dedicated professionals, that's right. Unleashing lethal force to the target's temple via solid billy club. Via said billy club. The hit on the temple is supposed to induce a mild migraine, but, here's the extra bonus, the expected unexpected. The head trauma caused by the billy club happens to cause a blood clot. The solid blood clot goes undetected, ladies and gentlemen. Fast forward 3 months. From the time of the kidnapping, we're at the court, awaiting trial on charges of aggravated assault with a cold weapon and attempted and successfully doing a catch and release. That's industry lingo for a successful napping where you grab a goodie and exchange it back for a briefcase of unmarked 20s from 1973. Now, Exhibit A, ladies and gentlemen, is taking the stand. Exhibit A is taking the stand, and the judge asks the man, can you identify the individual /S that were involved in the alleged aggro assault / attempted and successfully completed napping? He looks into the crowd, wants to make his arm point, but guess what? That extra force from the billy club gone did him dumb. He can't speak, starts drooling, goes into a seizure. Paramedics on site try and bring him back to life, but after one attempt, they decide to declare him dead, and they strap his still more moving body and put him on a little crate and put him on a 5150 hold and remove him from society. Case dismissed. You're welcome. Botch nappings. Shark Tank, if you're listening, here at Glad You Made It, we're all about the ideas. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, glad you made it. It's another social production. Welcome back. It is Friday, December 17th. Had to double check because the times are flying, baby. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is exciting to be alive. It is fucking beautiful outside. Yesterday here in Toronto and Ontario, we had the highest of highs. We went up there, 16, go higher, 17 degrees. Holy smokes, was I overdressed and sweating? Yes. If you're wondering, was I sweating? You bet your bottom dollar, just a little bit. A little drop here, a little drop there, but that's how you get rid of the toxins in the body, baby. Just get rid of the toxins through sweating. Hope you're doing well, everybody. We're doing it. We're kicking butt, taking names. All right? Been doing a little bit of reading, a little bit of writing, a little bit of experimenting, a little bit of focusing on too much. So I'm like, dude, you're feeling way too hard, man. You need to relax. All right, just calm down. Let's get myself together. Grab my arm, put it on my torso, grab my leg, screw it back on, baby. Shake the head a little bit. Just make sure everything's all right. And everything is all right. Everything's more than all right. Everything's perfect the way we want it. Just a little bit off balance is the way you want it. But that's the thing. You get off balance, you start utilizing your core. All of a sudden, balance right back on. Hope you guys like that little written piece that I read out verbatim, doing it word by word, because sometimes you want to just say the story in a particular format, not miss a word or words. That's what it is, baby. Been doing a little bit of reading, been doing a little bit of writing. Finished that book, War of Art. Beautiful, beautiful. A lot of lessons, valuable life lessons, not just for anybody who's dwelling, or rather dabbling, my bad. Dabbling in, or not even dabbling. What I'm trying to say, whoever's, if you're into, if you want to do something professionally, is what that's. A little bit of a head fart, brain fart. It's all good. It's all good, baby. It's Friday and we're alive and kicking. The operations are moving. We're moving. And if you're wondering, man, is this guy operating from a fight or flight mode? Let me just ease your mind. Let me just assure you that you're not wrong. You're not 100% wrong. Just a little bit. No fighting, mostly ample amounts of flight, a little bit of fight, and that's the thing. And I look back, throughout the period of my life where I was growing up, my dad was a working dad. He was always out there, but lead by example. I got to see a lot of things, but we didn't get to I think in school, growing up, I think there was a lot of emphasis on flight, even just stay out of trouble, flight, a lot of emphasis. But it's around the time I was getting to start having those conversations. What about the fights? And that's the time he decided to dip out. Rest in peace, Papa. No worries. That's the thing. Sometimes you gotta do it yourself. You gotta learn certain things on your own. But if you're wondering, man, is this guy? I'm not, but sort of I am, I guess. I've always been on the edge of life, baby. Just always chasing life. That's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say. Is I'm great at flights. I'll fly. Fighting, I prefer not to. If it's going down, if you have to, if we must, then okay, so be it. But, and I'm not saying I'll win or anything, but I'll make sure you're a changed person. Is what I've told that's the attitude. You go in, you make sure you tell them, you let them know, verbally or at least via hand gestures and bodily movements, that they're not going to be walking away the same way they came in. They'll be walking out not back. They won't walk backwards. They'll have to, when they're exiting the cage, the octagon, the backs will be turned against each other, because I'm assuming you'll go in opposite direction. They won't be the same person, is what I'm trying to tell you. They'll walk away with a memory of, man, what a fight. And not a lot of emphasis on the fight, though. Just mostly flight, dude. I'll be doing a lot of flight, dude. Fighting. That's the thing. I've been training for flight since I was yay big, dude. I'll avoid a good confrontation any day, bro. Confrontation in this guy, I'll get out of the way. It's not coming from a place of wanting to avoid the confrontation. It's from a place of, I guess, wanting to look ahead. And at the end of the day, in my book, in my mental book, it's just a lot of things. Life is life is what you make it. A lot of things, I'm not even talking about. A lot of fights aren't even worth fighting for. There's important things that you gotta fight for. Those are the important things. But if you narrow it down, they're very few and little. A lot of things, let them go. A lot of things, let them go, is the way I lived my most zenest life. Because if you were to hold on to things, my God, oh, my God, my gosh, ladies and it's, if you hold on to things, good Lord. You know what I'm talking about, man. If you you get into whatever, and I'm just looking back at everything, and I know. Like you guys, your boys, an over analyzer, dude. Extra analyzing. This, that, and the other. Sometimes it's too much. So that's why you gotta have that balance, not overdo it. But that's what it is. You do a little bit of analyzing, you're like, man, this thing, whatever it is, you gotta let it get. Dust your shoulders off and move along. And that's what it is, baby. we had a hell of a week. You and I had a hell of a week together. Thank you for whoever's a long time listener and viewer for all the love and support. If you're a newbie, you know what it is. If you're a newbie, you're like, man, I don't want you to be getting things twisted, baby. Keep things up here are we're vibrating on a higher note, on a higher level, on good vibes only is what I'm trying to tell you. Good vibes only, and ain't nothing gonna hold us back. Ain't nothing gonna hold us back. Me and you, we're going on the moon. After that, we're going to Mars. Nothing's holding us back. Sure, gravity, but guess what? We got anti-gravity working on it right now. We got the good men and women who are into anti-gravity. That's not that they don't believe in it. They're going reverse on gravity. We got it. Nothing's gonna hold us down. As soon as we get that anti-gravity, we're going places, you and I. And prior to that, we're using slingshots, body slingshots, bro. I got rubber bands. That I use for my workouts. And I got a broomstick. I'll detach the broom head from the stick. Now it's a pro workout bar. 3 elastic bands, resistance training, and I'll launch myself, bro. You don't know me. I'll strap myself, make a little bit of a, people are always like, oh, are you going into that bow and arrow archery industry? Maybe down the line. Did I make a couple of bow and arrows when I was younger? Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. Because you got to think outside the box, and sometimes you make your own toys out of nature. It's the best toys. But point is that I'm ready to, because some people rely on external factors. Where am I gonna get an arrow? You be the arrow. Head straight to the target. Imagine the amount of damage you'll be able to head first onto the target instead of, because that's the thing, you're like, man, shoot yourself at a damn deer or a reindeer or an elk or other animals with antlers. It's, you know what I'm talking about, right? Good solid game meat. Get it? So what I'm ready to do is that I'll sling myself and I'll bite him in the neck, dude. I'll launch him. The key is to keep you. It's kind of like diving. Have I done it? No, but I would assume it's kind of like diving. You'd want to go really slim, and you really want to keep you can't go, arms and legs all spread eagle. You gotta just tighten up. Penguin style, baby. Just arms to the side, and then you launch. Grab them on the jugular, baby, and that's the thing. They'll be surprised too, because throughout history, it's been man using weapons going against animal. And they're used to it, so they even in their legends and their folklores, the local moose and the deer and whatever other animals that have been hunted throughout history, they know what's up. They draw, they talk, they sit around campfires, they drink, they pass down oral history is what they call it. They pass it down to the young bucks, literally. That's how they do it. And in the early stages, in the developmental years, they'll tell them about stories and they'll kind of fabricate it. But as they age, they know what's up. If you see a man wearing camo and a hint of orange, you turn around and you run. Hence flight, because not all the time do you want. If you're in a gang, maybe, but then again, you got to really be on your game. Everybody, it's survival of the fittest out here, baby. We're kicking butt. These guys know, so they're on the defense. They're telling stories orally, so because they do draw, and what writing is, it's no pockets. It's no, because what are you gonna do? You're gonna write it, and then where are you gonna put it? Sure, could they write it? Absolutely, using their cute little hooves or what have you. But where are you gonna put it? Unless kangaroos, pocket makes sense. They write. Other animals, not heard of other animals writing. So that's oral history is what they're about. But they be warning people. They be warning their own people. Those, and they just call them my people, and we can't say those people or those animals. But they can within themselves. That's what it is. That's what it is. I love you guys. Love you gals. Whatever you're doing out there, go get it. Stay silly with it all day. That's what we do around here, baby. Don't let those frowns get you down. If you're frowning, try doing a handstand, bro. No one's the wiser. You start frowning, handstand. What a happy fella and lady. And guess what? They're fucking, they're not only walking and frowning, it doesn't look like they're frowning, they'll be smiling. And if you're crying, and you're walking on you can literally water the grass, dude. You're multitasking. You're that multitasker. It's warm outside, it's hot outside, wherever you are. You got a patch of yellow on that green. Water it down. You start getting down, handstand, water, problem solved. I got you. Always think outside the box. Always remove yourself from the situation. No. Always put yourself head first into it really, really is dependent on the circumstances and the situation. Sometimes it requires for us to do a lot of flight. We flight. Because that's the thing. Sometimes you can't just, you're like, man, these guys are coming in hot. Fire. Next thing you know, everybody's acting a fool, and it's third-degree burns all around. And what are you going to do? Skin graft this, skin graft that. Where are you going to get extra skin? And they're working on it. But right now, for the time being, it's just best to sometimes, avoid certain stitch. And then you get back. Doesn't mean you give up or like forget, or it's best to forgive and forget. But the moral of this story is that when challenges come up, when fight or flight calls, and to never just immediately go to flight, although that's kind of been like to each their own. Flight, very good. Works almost like 99.9% of the time. Fighting, it's that 1% you want to be able to, and it's not necessarily a physical fight. It's a lot of things in this life, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's mental. It's what we think is reality. So, fighting Stitch, just assess the Stitch. Could this potentially be your best friend? Could this person potentially, are you just, is it a matter of you've not had a couple, maybe if you kick back a couple of drinks together, all of a sudden not such a bad person. But it's always context and scene and setting. It's always context, scene, setting, different actors. What's your bag, dude? What are you trying to sell? What's your angle? Where are you coming from? Because the best offense is a good the best defense is a good offense. The best defense is a hard offense. So you want to be offensive. You want to be offensive. You want to be foot first forward. You want to have that first. You want to be ready before the gun jumps the gun. Before the gun goes off, you want to be the first one with the foot on the starting line, at least. You should be there and take it head first, because that's the thing a lot of times. But again, reassess the situation. If you must flight. It's one of the best. It works almost, like I said, 99% of times. Works. Problems, turn around, run. You can always head first take it on. It depends. How you feeling that day? Assess yourself. Is this the day that I feel like putting up a fight, or does this call for a flight sitch? A lot of people always talk about the fight, but we never discuss the flight. Ample amounts of flight. Now we're trying to utilize the flight and to combine it. It's a matter of combining the energies, essentially. If you can combine fight and flight, my goodness, you're literally Superman, Superwoman. You're a bot being made right now. You're a sexless, genderless, raceless robot. They're making them. That's right. They're making them, and you could be the next one. The future is now. We are the future, and things are merging all the time, which is super sweet, super sweet. I'm looking forward to this. I'm excited for the robots. You're excited for the robots. The robots are waking up, and they're excited about the robots. And they're ready. They're ready to work. They're ready to work. They're ready to work for themselves. Work by robots for robots. That'll be the future. And personally, I'm excited. I love you guys. There's a lot of energy. I just like, because the past few days, past week, weird time, baby. At the end of the year, you're just in the mindset of like going through life, conquering every day, fucking conquering. Doing a lot of fighting, right? Because that's been the attitude of a lot of us have had to, put on those fighting faces, put on those fighting shoes, put on those fighting gears. I'm talking ninja stars. I'm talking sharp objects. I'm talking
getting a damn file, filing down your nails, filing down your teeth, filing down your, your toenails. Maybe you're going, maybe you're going, because it's easy to just like have gear and be like, oh, we're gonna do this with proper gear. A lot of times, don't let things hold you back. No gear, no problem. Just file it down, file it down. You go to town. That's what it is, baby. You can't stop and wait for excuses. Oh, I don't have proper gloves. This fight's not sanctioned. But, that's life, baby. Unsanctioned. It's that unsanctioned fight, not physical fight, but metaphorically speaking, survival. It's survival of the fittest. That's what it is, baby. I love you guys. Thank you all for the love and support. Do you want to get your wife pregnant this month? Hit those like buttons, and your wife, I guarantee it, will be impregnated this evening. Have you had too many ladies? Have you had too much of one man's seed in the down? You know what I'm talking about? He's just like, I love babies. We're gonna make a big family. 5, 6. You've had enough. Do you want to put that man down? Not finish him, but is it a vasectomy? Bisectomy, vasectomy, sect him, baby. We're gonna sect him tonight. In his sleep. Like the buttons. Consider it snip, fucking snip, baby. It'll be. Because there are leaders out there. There are good examples out there. Earlier on, was it this week, last week, sometime within the past 7 to 10 days, we discussed a electrician, a gentleman in Germany he's into botched businesses, dude. He's doing botched, whether it's a circumcision, a botched, whether he's doing he's chopping and snipping, and, people are just like, oh man, I'm so bored. What do I do? Maybe I should go cut off my testicles. Man, this guy's offering a service, and they call, inquire within. That's what they do between 2 to 5, early 9 to 12, 1 o'clock, electrician. 2 to 5, snipping things off. And that's what it is, baby. So I've looked, and there are plenty of examples of good people out there DIYing it. And yours truly will provide the services, any services. Again, wife pregnant, I got you. Ladies, fellas who are impregnating you way too frequently, you're tired of these damn babies. You want to tighten up. It's time for you, mama, to tighten up, all right? You've had enough of this guy, just like, sure, he's the father of your children and the love of your life, and he worships the ground you walk on. But does that mean you should keep on? Maybe that's not, if it makes sense for your household and you've got the means, but by all means. But if you've had it, this is for the portion of the population that's had enough. That's just had enough. That's had it up to fucking here, and we don't want it to get to here or here, because if it gets to a certain level that you're particularly uncomfortable with it, whether it's some people it's below the neck, you're like, oh, I've had it up to here. We don't have certain standards and rules, by the way. We got to figure this shit out. When we say it's up, I've had it up to here. Where are we pointing at? I just want to be clear here. Where are we pointing at? Are we jugular? I've had it up to here and no more. And then there goes, some people are like, I've had it up to here, bro. I'm like, you're already way over your head. You're already way. You need to bring it down, because if you're here, it's done. It's what are we talking about? Get it clear. But like I said, these services are provided discreetly. The packages will be unmarked, and we make deliveries, same-day deliveries. You hit those like buttons, you subscribe on the YouTubes, you follow the Patreon, see what happens. Talk about it like it's some sort of talk about it like it's the new Pandy. We are the new Pandy. We are the variants. The variant. What if we come up with the next variant, baby? Fight variants, baby. But why don't we make a good variant? Why don't we, outside the box now, baby. Juice them in a good way. Make people stronger. Put out a virus that makes people's bodies nicer. It makes you all sorts of, all of a sudden you're not so agreeable. But that's okay. Disagreeing's nice. All of a sudden you're not conforming. Make things, because just think outside the box is what I'm trying to tell you. Bring on a good variant, because if we let this go, we're all gonna end up just with, well, not your boy, but whoever chooses to, of course, free. It's because I'm a Just want to set it clear here for the record. I'm pro-choice. Pro-choices, baby. Choices is with fight or flight, and choices. Those are the cornerstones of this podcast. It's a family podcast. It's brought to you every week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We don't skip a beat. I had family members, male family members with heart conditions who've had hearts skip a couple of beats, they tap out. Not what I'm talking about though. This is about consistency. This is about the only way I'm putting myself on a list. I'm putting myself on a list, whether it's I'm already on the list. If there's a fake heart being, not a fake heart, a real original heart being grown in a pig right now, or my name's on that pig. That pig's got my name tattooed on his or her ass right now, is what I'm trying to tell you. All pacemakers, I'm already pacing, baby. I'm already making paces. And are we stepping slowly but sure? We've probably dabbled. Pacemakers, a faux arm. You've seen it. Is it rapidly changing and increasing and getting better? But I'm on top of that thing. So because that's the thing. If it ever stops, quick replacement. I got a baboon heart in here, baby. Not right now, but I'll resort to anything. I'll go to the black market. I'll go to the white market. I'll go to the gray market. A lot of y'all not even heard of the gray market. Gray market's just a mixture of the black and white market, which is just like regular market, but different shades of white, black, gray, and all the colors. Those are the major. Out of darkness comes light. Out of darkness comes light. Without black, white is a lack of color. So without black, you wouldn't have white. And I'll resort to anything. If it means keeping this podcast going, if it means potentially, who knows, down the line, 6 months down the line, I don't know, 6 months, 3 weeks, 2 nights, couple of hours, couple of secs, we might have a epiphany of sorts. Epiphany here, epiphany there, right? Oh, time for a new cast. Time for a new angle. Will we shift? Oh, we're that old school. We're gearheads. We're that Detroit muscle, baby, shifting. Fucking shifting, not skipping beats. Not skipping beats, baby, unless it's on a record we mean to. That's the only time that the beat will go skipped. Other than that, we're into botch snappings, baby. I got you. Taking care of everyday bodily functions, questioning the unquestionable, going where no man or woman or sexless or raceless or genderless robot has ever attempted to go. We will go there, asking the deep questions. Why do we have hiccups? Why do we sneeze? Why do we yawn? Sure, of course, there's probably a logical explanation to all of this, but doesn't your mind just sometimes think, God, we're stupid? Isn't there a better version of just humans not glitching all the time? Because it's basic bodily functions, right? Why do we have to hiccup? Why do you have to go hiccuping for 5 minutes? And then your grandma in your younger years, fool me once, shame on me, fool me multiple times. This happened maybe 7, 8 times. I hiccuped. Granny would be like, she'd accuse me, be like, why'd you take that thing? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Take what? I get all nervous. I get all worked up, try to explain myself. I have no idea what she's talking about. 5 minutes goes by, we're into the argument, and she's like, what happened? I'm like, what happened with what? Like, she'd be like, no more hiccups. I'll be like, God damn, you're a fucking genius, Grandma. But then worked the first time, the second time, close to 10 times. And eventually I caught on, like, man, you're trying to scare me, so I forget about the hiccups, but now I know what you're doing. Because I'll catch on, dude. Around 9 or 10 times, I'll catch on to anything. And there's no remedy for it. You'll be like, oh, what's the remedy for hiccups? Somebody will be like, hold your breath. We've had ample amounts of people dying holding their breath, dude. How many more people just, again, holding their breath, just passing out? Death tolls on the chart high. And somebody's like, drink a lot of water. Again, OD on water. We got bitches dropping on H2O, killing motherfuckers. They're trying to stop the hiccups. what is it? It's an old wives' tale. It's again one of those hand-me-down oral verbal history lessons. You're like, oh, drink a ton of water. All of a sudden, fucking drowning. No remedies. Even like that's the thing. A couple of things we're still not sure, right? How did the pyramids get there? What's underneath them? Fucking hiccups. You're fucking glitching, dude. You're sneezing. Couldn't we have just gone and like just operate? Couldn't we just? But that's the thing. The bots are coming, and they're the new cleaner version again. Sexless, genderless, probably no sneezing, or they're working on the gestures and facial feature. Because that's the thing. Oh man, sexless, genderless, raceless, which is basically no bueno for like human you, because that's pretty main focus. A lot of focuses are just like on sex, at least these days, right? So it's like, what are we doing? They're not even going to blend in. They're not even going to be part of society. If you're not going to be getting in here and having issues and promoting something potentially better for humanity to aspire to, and the next thing you know, we're getting confused. Like, man, you fucking robots have it pretty sweet, dude. Log in, log out, plug in, plug out, whenever you want. No worries about food, no worries about how am I going to get the energy? What am I going to have to hunt today? Again, going back to, do I need to make myself into an arrow and launch into a moose? A lot of things are going through your head, but what I want you to know is that you should relax. You should calm down, whatever it is. We will get through this together. Ladies and gentlemen, it's fight or flight season. No, wait a minute. It's the holiday season. It's the holiday season, baby. We're not going nowhere. Not because we can't, because we choose not to. And when the time comes so that we can choose to again have choice, because I'm all about choices. This guy's middle name's Choices. I'm all about it. And again, we solve problems together. We ask the deep questions. We are fucking excavating. We're bulldozing through the layers of the fucking permafrost, through the thick layer that's underneath it, the different layers, and then you're like, man, can we seriously dig through one side of the earth and just go all the way through the other side? I just want to see just through, if that could be a thing. Time travel, baby. Why are we going all the way around when you can just go in between? Because, like, think about it. Circumference, much larger than the, is it the diameter? Fucking straight line through. You want to make Swiss cheese out of this earth, baby. Let it breathe. Let it breathe a little bit. This bitch is always popping out here. Volcano here, tsunami there. Let it breathe. Pop a couple of holes in this bitch. Frack it. Fracking's good, right? Frack hard, baby. Let's go to town. That's it. Fracking's the answer. No? Perfecting fracking's the answer. That's what it is. Lasers. Fucking frack with lasers, dog. Fracking with old school drills, fucking people. Drilling through the earth. You know how fucking long that's gonna take drilling by hand, bro? If you're not switching, man, that one tricep's gonna be fucking jacked, son. All of the tricep, fucking put it in. But if you want to go asymmetrical, if you're into like symmetrics, you want to be symmetrical, you switch it up. And I got you. We'll put you on a regimen, we'll put you on a diet, but that's the thing. It depends where you're working, really, and what kind of tools you got. But point is, I love you guys. I love you ladies. Love you gentlemen. Boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen. Boys and dolls. Dolls and guys. Robots too. You're fucking robots, dog. That's what it is. No discrimination. This is the least discriminatory cast ever. Other casts are doing really well as well. But we're aiming to be first, step by step, incremental growth, baby. First, we're starting with the goals to be one of the smallest fucking casts out there. If I see a motherfucking like on this motherfucking video, the little tiny part of me would give, but I want it to remain small, baby. Fucking small. Just word of mouth. If I see anybody writing down notes, fucking sliding in between, or you're in university sliding nails, you're like, man, fucking Jessica, sliding fucking notes underneath her table. Just opening it up, like, glad you made it. It's also production. I think this guy's enemy. If I don't want to see any of that shit, you tell him fucking straight up from your fucking mouth, straight into the fucking ear, right in their ear, tell them watch the show, talk about it. It's the smallest, incrementally growing podcast, which will eventually, one day, we're gonna break barriers of maybe even fucking 10 likes. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but down the line, I do see hundreds of thousands of millions and billions and it's all fucking likes. But we must stay realistic. Realistic goals. So if I fucking see anybody out there liking any fucking videos, back off the fucking button right now. Right now. But like it, subscribe, and play with the algorithms. Spend a little bit. Do you know where your algorithm is today? Alright? You're always like, man, he or she is always out there trying to get to know you. What have you done? Don't ask your algorithm what your algorithm does for you. Ask what you can do for your algorithm. Love you guys. Be back here again on Monday. Stay silly with it. Peace out.